You're on your own tonight. The gallery can get a bit creepy. It's old. Things rattle. Just do a circuit every now and then and head back to reception when you're tired. If anyone tries to break in, call me. Or the police. Actually, police and then me. But you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Have a good night.
Merlehaven welcomes people of all religions, and today, Merlehaven Chapel is at the heart of the community, hosting weddings, burials, and ceremonies that mark the quarter and cross-quarter moons. Mordecai frequented the chapel as a child, up until his mother died.
see them too, don't you?
It was a cold and frosty morning on the 31st of October when Gray received a solitary telephone call that police traced back to a public phone box in the theater district. The call lasted for 44 seconds and appeared to be from one of Gray's portrait subjects. During the forensic sweep of his loft that night, police found a note in Gray's handwriting that read, "Unhappy. Destroyed portrait. Meet at lockup. 4 p.m. Why do they think the killer made the call? Because it gave them the opportunity to enter Mordecai's loft when they knew he would be absent, concealing themselves, waiting for their prey to return.
I have a famous clock. I made it for the Neptunian Theatre Company. It was a grandfather clock you could fit a body into, that then magically disappeared, as if teleported through time. Nancy. Poor Nancy.
Fans pay me to call them or as a gift to others.
They pay to hear me.
Well, yeah, they usually want to hear his voice.
I own you.
I call from a public phone box, so they can't ring back.
He's a professional stalker.
Oh, she was stunning. Mid-20s in this gorgeous tight cheerleading outfit. It's weird, but they all like me to, do the voice while we're, so it's like they're having sex with Pip. I mean, I should be offended, but it's still me, right? Why am I getting a portrait?
They needed a drunken philanderer.
Is it just about the 3 golden orcs?
Smooth.
What? It's not a humble brag.
No, it's a basic brag.
Kyoko said if I ever cut myself in anger, if there was blood in a piece I was working on, I should destroy it. She said it would attract lost souls and create a Zorigami, a possessed clock. What's Professor Myers like? She rehabilitated you after the lighthouse thing, right? I suppose you at least didn't paint a giant penis on the side of it. Would have gotten you more fans, though.
No, I'm definitely a foodie. Money was a bit tight when I was younger, and it instilled me with this kind of quick or hungry mentality. We had a break-in at home. Probably just kids. They stole a couple of transplant organs from the fridge, a kidney and a liver. I told you I don't just bury people. Tourism is booming. Visit Merlehaven, the land of ghosts and fish. Thing is, people are told the hills are dangerous, and they still go. Hate picking up bodies from there.
Nancy was the best actor in the troupe. During a performance of The Umbrella Man, she slipped into a giant grandfather clock and disappeared forever. Literally, there was a false door and all that. But she was never seen again. Some people say she's still in that clock. What a thing to be famous for.
When I'm rich and successful, I'm going to have a giant self-portrait hanging in the foyer of my New York apartment. That's what famous people do, right? Maybe I'll let you paint me. What about you? Why are you still here? If I had your money, I'd be long gone by now. Mojitos in the Bahamas. It's this island, isn't it? Every time I try to leave, it drags me back. Fans, feathers, scarves. I'm never fully nude. Justice Hoon wouldn't allow it. Just a tease here and there. Let their imaginations fill in the rest.
What were you doing in the theatre district on the morning of the 31st of October?
I had to pick some things up from Adams.
So, Mr. Taylor can vouch for you?
No, he wasn't there. He just left them outside.
Did you use the payphone?
Yes, but only to call a cab. My battery was dead.
Nancy was the best actor in the troupe. During a performance of The Umbrella Man, she slipped into a giant grandfather clock and disappeared forever. Literally, there was a false door and all that. But she was never seen again. Some people say she's still in that clock. What a thing to be famous for.
Oh, it's a privilege. I mean, it's great being able to influence people
Into bed.
to talk about climate change and kind of generally raise awareness for things.
Like alcoholism.
I have a famous clock. I made it for the Neptunian Theatre Company. It was a grandfather clock you could fit a body into, that then magically disappeared, as if teleported through time. Nancy. Poor Nancy. I was going to make a call, but I didn't have any money on me.
We have an eyewitness who claims they saw you with the phone to your head.
Yes, that's what I do. I picked up the phone, started dialing, and then realized I didn't have any money.
Who are you going to call?
An old friend.
I have a side hustle in a company that creates lab-grown meat. Cows and vegans are equally destroying the planet, in my opinion. What I'm doing is different. The Kincaids. Well, they were buying up plots from Merlers and selling them on for extortionate fees. Demand outstripped supply, so they started murdering people off, forging papers to burial grounds. It's cremation or bust if you're a new resident nowadays. There's just no space. I sometimes use that phone if I'm running late with a funeral, but there was no funeral. We're shut on Halloween.
Did you use the payphone to call anyone?
No, I was pouring myself into a Halloween costume most of the morning.
Well, our parents are gallery patrons, so we go there a lot. They get an incredible amount of work for such a small gallery. Did you see the Wilmington retrospective? We love that. Father said it looked like he'd been poisoned. Who could do such a thing? Mother found him in the garden. We weren't even allowed to see him. No. But we share Orlando between us now, don't we? And he really is the most spoiled cat. Cloning was illegal. That's why they kept us a secret for so long. By the time they went public, it was too late to do anything about it. Most people were too curious to care anyway, though. The scientific community in particular. Father said they actually got a lot of admiration for daring to break the rules.
Do you often visit the theatre district?
We used to. We like the deli.
Did you go there on the morning of Halloween?
No.
You're sure?
Yes, I was running a training camp for some local children.
Where was this?
At our house. We have a private court and Monday insisted we share it.
Argenta is a complete gem, isn't she? The Argentas and the Mayers have been family friends for decades. They took me in after my parents were gone and paid for my tuition in London. I worked briefly for the Crown Prosecution Service in London. I thought it would be my dream job. But financial crimes were always given the strongest sentences, whilst crimes of the flesh were barely noticed. I still remember Miss Darcy's dream defence.
Oh, it's a privilege. I mean, it's great being able to influence people.
Into bed.
To talk about climate change and Masters in the theatre district. Oh, it's a privilege. I mean, Masters in the theatre district. Yeah, this place will always be my home, but Masters in the theatre district. Yeah, this place will always be my home. Why am I getting a portrait?
They need.
Oh, it's a privilege. I mean,
Do you often visit the theatre district?
We used to. We like the deli.
Did you go there on the morning of Halloween?
No.
You're sure?
Yes, I was running a training camp for some local children.
Where was this?
Cloning was illegal.
What were you doing in the theatre district on the morning of the 31st of October?
I had to pick some things up from Adams.
So, Mr. Taylor can vouch for you?
No, he wasn't there. He just left them outside.
Did you use the payphone?
Yes, but only to call a cab. My battery was dead.
What were you doing in the theatre district on the morning?
Glad to hear you survived. I'm not worried about intruders. It's the boredom that'll kill you. 3 nights on, 4 nights off. Just 2 more to do and then you're done. Unless you're stuck in a time loop, playing the same 3 days over and over again. Just kidding. Or am I? I've just had a call from Lord Barnet asking to loan one of Gray's portraits. They're having a charity auction they want a centrepiece. Could you be a love and pick one for me? Just leave it in reception, I'll call in for it. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm a bit disappointed.
Something has changed.
When I'm rich and successful. Miss Moonstruck, enchantée. The name was actually Leo's idea. He owns the bar. I'm a classically trained ballerina. Never done burlesque before, but I like it. Costumes, choreographing the routines. It's not a bad way to pass the time. Until I can get out of here. Well, it wasn't an accident. They knew the risks. He didn't even spend that long down there. A few days, maybe? He was just supposed to be collecting some coal samples. 3 months later, he was dead. He always calls to wish me luck before a show. And then afterwards, he's waiting outside to walk me home. It's sweet. We usually go back to his place. It's in the theatre district, so it takes longer, but I don't like staying at my flat. Too many memories. Fans, feathers, scarves. I'm never fully nude. Just as Hoon wouldn't allow it.
What were you doing in the theatre district on the morning?
Normally, I go to Marigold's in the morning to pick up flowers, then call customers to remind them it's their relative's funeral. You would not believe the amount of Merlers that forget. If I get stuck in the theatre district, I just call from the phone there. Jenna owns Marigold's. In the theatre district, she does the best flowers. We're both dressing up for Halloween. She's going to be a sunflower, and I'm thinking maybe a zombie or a cheerleader. That young girl I see here sometimes, is she getting her portrait done? Is she here now? I think my favourite piece is Majesty. The giant fish that fell out of the sky and killed our oppressive leader. What's not to love? Oh, sorry. Should have said one of your paintings, shouldn't I? I have a side hustle in a company that creates lab-grown meat. Cows and vegans are equally destroying the planet, in my opinion. What I'm doing is different.
I am Xavier Hahn, Melhaven's only clockmaker. And much like my life, my craft is a dying art. Patients sign a waiver before a surgery that absolves the surgeon of any criminal prosecution. So no, I've never murdered anyone. I've got matinee tickets to an Inspector course on Halloween. You're not a theatre lover then, Mordecai? You could play Inspector Ghoul quite easily. All the questions, and yet nobody knows who you really are. I can get you an extra ticket if you like. I don't think clockmakers get fans as such. You're a bad boy, though, aren't you, Mordecai? I jest, but you actually have a criminal record. I was never in the same hospital long enough to get my picture on the wall. I was too slow at surgeries. Some people even accused me of negligence. I suppose 3 months was my longest stint. They spot-checked her in the viewing gallery and found 12 vials of ketamine in her bag. I said they were for me, so they didn't press charges. Caroline never did thank me for that.
Well, we spend 90% of our time training. This is obviously a lot easier now that we're no longer at school, but they used to give us time off for competitions. That didn't stop me getting straight A's, though. It's all about how you apply yourself. Father said it looked like he'd been poisoned.
Who could do such a thing? Mother found him in the garden. We weren't even allowed to see him.
No. But we share Orlando between us now, don't we? And he really is the most spoiled cat.
He murdered both my parents and was never caught. My whole family dead. I was 13. I guess it stirred a passion in me. No, my line is not highly secure by any means. If I phone anyone off the record, I use public phone boxes. Burner phones on Merlehaven. As if. There are a lot of journalists wanting to see what goes on at the manor. We've become famous. I'm arranging several open days. Perhaps you could come, Maudie, to say a few words? We take a picture of our patients before they enter, and one just as they leave. A before and after, if you will. Do you want to see yours? Argenta is a complete gem, isn't she? The Argentas and the Myers have been family friends for decades. They took me in after my parents were gone and paid for my tuition in London. The Luxairis have a symbol that, roughly translated, means eye zombie. It's from an incantation that puts the caster out of body so they can move freely in space. But if the spell fails, it leaves you just like that, a zombie.